Well, hello, everyone. We are back from break. Thank you to all the night owls in chat watching this live. And if you're watching this on YouTube at any time of day, hello. I appreciate you watching this as well. But we're here at Folkwise. Kristin's here with me. We've just played a great 2 hours of Hades 2. But now is the time that we're going to talk to the guest about her line of work and other fun stuff that we found out while we were looking up questions. You are a state folklorist. You're an artist. You got a lot of cool things going on. Before we get into these wonderful questions, Kristin, Shirley is going to read the fine print, if they may. Shirley?
See, this is where the gotcha comes in.
Where the gotcha comes in?
Yes.
Yeah.
The fine print.
No, yes, you got some thank yous to hand out.
Yeah. So a pantheon with mythology
Oh my god.
encompasses all of the gods of a given religion.
I'm glad
And
you
as
wrote
we
this down first.
Yeah, and as we explore the pantheon of Hades 2 specifically, since there are some differences between Hades 1.
We'll get into that.
Not quite as mythologically aligned as the Greek pantheon, but you know, as some religions have multiple gods, so too does Folkwise have multiple figures.
Yes.
That operate its heart and that we offer deference to. And at this moment, we give our deference to the wonderful sleuths who do the internet stalking and formulate the questions, and create the basis for this excellent interview. So if you hear a good question, thank the sleuths.
Yeah.
Not just us up here.
And if you are a subscriber to Folkwise, you can hit that sleuths emote when you hear a good question. With the sleuths thanked, I think it's time to get into these actual questions. You ready, Kristin?
Yeah, you'll have to tell me where you find sleuths because I have to do all my own stalking.
Libraries.
Honestly,
if there's a folklorist who also works in a library, get them to write your interview questions so they're not using their powers for any other evil, is my word of advice.
Yeah.
But our first question, we're going to get into a lot of stuff. You just had the National Folk Festival how many weeks ago?
It was November 7th, 8th, and 9th.
So almost exactly 30 days ago.
Yeah, I'm almost recovered.
So we'll get into that. We'll get into your job in Mississippi. But the sleuths wanted to start you off with a deep cut question this week because we were playing Hades and we were talking a lot about the Greek mythology and like the representations in this kind of in this video game, this kind of like pop culture retelling of Greek myth. So our first question for you is about classical mythology. And it's something you might know. You might be the one person that knows the answer to this. Kristin, how did Nathaniel Hawthorne transform classical mythology into narratives that reflect 19th century customs in conversational discourse and child rearing?
So Nathaniel Hawthorne is pretty famously known today for writing The Scarlet Letter, which I've never read.
I've seen Easy A. This came up in the sleuthing meeting. I
actually love Easy A.
I can get by a little Easy A. I don't even think I've seen that whole movie, but it's on FX a lot.
And Easy A will tell you which movie adaptation of Scarlet Letter to watch, so at least there's that. Nice. But yeah, his actually big commercial success during his lifetime was children's literature. At that point, when American literature was kind of just finding its footing in the world scene. And I'm trying to remember who it was that said it, but who in the world reads an American book? And then we have Walt Whitman and Nathaniel Hawthorne and Edgar Allan Poe and Herman Melville that come along in the 19th century and really start putting us on the map for literature. One of the genres that was also finding its footing at the time was juvenile literature. For one, printing books, expensive. There were not books for children, people who would destroy them. They were kind of gift books, maybe. But they weren't really what we think of as like your board books, your beater-uppers, the ones that you can put in the bathtub with a kid. There weren't things that were built to entertain a child. It was really more stories to impress upon them specific morals. So you would have stories about little Bobby who never listened to his mom and wore ripped jeans to church and climbed trees when he wasn't supposed to, and then he fell out of one and died, and that was a good thing because he was a bad kid. Nathaniel Hawthorne had children and really hated what he was getting and what was available for his kids. And in this time period of American literature, we did have an obsession with adapting European literature. And what he did was take a very specific mythos, the Greek pantheon, and start retelling some of those stories in a very Americanized context. He even kind of de-paganizes them in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, there's a fight going on behind me.
I love it, by the way. It's like having Subway Surfers in the bottom half of your TikTok. We got an interview and two cats fighting.
Yeah, they can't decide who gets to be in the basket's the problem. I really need a second basket. But so he took these myths and he would kind of sanitize them to what he thought would be more appropriate for kids, but also being entertaining and culturally enriching in ways that none of the available texts were. And they became popular not only with kids, but also with adults, because again, there's this huge obsession with Greek mythology. There's even a lot of rivers up near Western Kentucky University, where I went to school, that are named like the River Styx. We were naming things like this. We had a kind of obsession with the Greco-Roman art style of sculpture, and we're kind of mimicking that in a lot of ways. So he would take the gods like Mercury and rename them in fun and creative ways, like Quicksilver. So Mercury and Quicksilver, it's another name for it, but it takes away this is a deity, and he's more of like your English fairy, kind of little sprightly helper that shows up from time to time. I think my favorite addition that he made, though, is the Midas myth.
Okay.
He, if you've ever seen, I think it's the Disney animated version of the Midas story, he has a daughter that he touches and turns to gold.
Yeah.
That did not exist in the original story. He added that.
Oh,
and we loved it so much, it has really kind of overtaken the original story, even outside of America. That's kind of the preferred version now. So he touches his daughter, turns her to gold, and realizes this maybe isn't the greatest gift he's ever received, and has to go bathe in the river and then bathe her in the water from the river to cleanse himself. There's also a lot of really interesting gender commentary you can look into, especially with the why are we always hurting the little girls?
Yeah, that's kind of
why are they always this pinnacle of goodness and purity?
And that's kind of like the grand finale. The parts he added are like he added a very satisfying coda, which is interesting. So we bring this up to really say, I mean, yes, we wanted to talk about this because this is your master's thesis, right?
Yeah, it's been a while.
The sleuths will find it. Don't worry. The sleuths have read your master's thesis. This is to anyone out there with the master's thesis. The sleuths have read it in chat, on YouTube, whatever. But we wanted to bring this up because where do you see this legacy of Nathaniel Hawthorne? Where do you see the Hades games in this legacy of Nathaniel Hawthorne and like Americans like putting their own spin on Greek mythology?
Well, for one, I think the accents are really an interesting take, especially for the voice acting. Like, they're all so great, but they're definitely not, what I would consider Mediterranean or Greek. A lot of them are kind of British.
Mhm.
And I think that's kind of almost what Americans think of as very fancy talk. So we have that kind of elevated. They're very elegant, and in a lot of ways, emblematic of specific traits. And I think that they're pulling a lot on some of the visuals that you get, some of the motifs that are associated with different gods. Like you see Artemis, she's got her pigeon familiar, or quails, they're quails. And Apollo has his lyre. Everybody's kind of got their props. Hephaestus has a wheelchair, which is anachronistic and fun, but you have Kronos and the time play at hand. So maybe anachronisms are a little bit more at home than we thought. I mean, you're digging up gyros and fries wrapped in aluminum foil all the time.
Yeah,
which I think is definitely what Americans think of as this is really what we want out of Mediterranean food.
Yeah, a dish more of the Greek diaspora, especially like a lamb gyro, than anything on Greece. I think maybe Athens itself, but like, yeah, that is, everywhere else in Greek, that's like a pork gyro with potatoes on it.
Yeah.
And then oh shoot, what was I gonna say? I lost it. Oops. Okay. The oh yeah. It's I heard a stand-up comedian do this bit, Stavros Halkias, but he said on paper Greece are just like it's like the fairest like Arab country. Like, yes, they're Christian, but they're like short and loud and have hairy arms and wear a lot of gold. But England wanted Greece on their resume so bad that they like retroactively cited you've been white the whole time and actually you sounded like us.
Yeah, and that's why all the statues are very white. They definitely didn't originally have color on them all over the place.
So it ended up being perfect to talk about for the Hades episode, to talk about the like Americanization or like the transforming to American tastes of Greek mythology, which is very important. Here's a cat. Who is this?
This is Rowan. He was deciding whether or not he wanted to knock over my mug, so I had to rescue it.
Bye. But that is to say, let's get into your career in public folklore, because it's what you've been doing for the past how many odd years now?
I have been the state folklorist in Mississippi since July.
Yeah.
Nice.
And before that, you worked for the Mississippi Arts Commission in different capacities. Yeah.
Correct. Just Goldilocksing my way into the folklore position eventually.
So that's a good Goldilocks, not only because it's like a fairy tale reference, but it's a good way to set up this next question, which is, how is moving into the new position as the folk and traditional arts director similar to the passing of tradition itself?
Well, I think one thing that's kind of interesting is that I worked with two different folk arts directors during my tenure at MAC. I came while I was in grad school to do archival work for Jen Jameson, and got to know her and what her take on this position was, and what she thought, what direction she thought this should go. And then in my last few months before I moved back to Mississippi, Maria Zarang was hired on as Jen left, and
Friend
as I started at MAC, Maria was there. Yeah, in the chat. Shout out to Maria.
Hey, Maria.
Yeah, and actually, one of the first things we figured out was that she knew you very well, and I had met you at AFS like the year or two prior. So that was one of the first things that we figured out. We had someone in common, at least.
Yeah, and, that is my old roommate. Hi. Hi in chat.
Yeah, Maria and I are both actually identical twins.
Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, well, I knew she was an identical twin. I didn't know you were. That the sleuths did not tell me.
Yeah, she's an art teacher, a high school art teacher off Highway 49 here in Mississippi, so she's close by.
Oh, cool.
We're not as cool as, like, twins that do juggling. Maria has definitely taken it to a different level.
Yeah.
I think I just end up with a bowling pin to the face.
Yeah, Maria juggling for Folklore 101 class. Definitely. So and so you've had these different, like, these two different state folklorists you've worked with. What have you learned, or like what is different experiencing now that you have like that job that you've like seen from the other side?
Well, Jen and Maria both had like a lot very different aesthetics for the type of for materials they would create.
Yeah.
But one thing that they've really impressed on me as I take this role on is it's really about the individual artist and building those relationships with them. Making more so than really any of our other grants, a regular check-in process with our apprenticeships so you can see how they're progressing and see what's working for them. And one thing that I'm always checking on is to see how was that application process and what can I do to make it easier.
Yeah. So that sometimes they can just turn into like the form filling industrial complex, which is fine because people need to know how to fill out forms, but we're not supposed to be selecting for form filling.
No, and a lot of the folk arts recipients, and not not all of them, but a lot of them are older and they're not in a position where they're in a full-time paid job doing this
Yeah.
kind of work.
Yeah.
And being this kind of work being filling out government paperwork.
Yes.
They'll be master chair makers and glass blowers and whatever they're doing, but they more than anyone else like to come up to the office and like work through it together, which has always been one of my specialties. I think I've even made house calls before for people who like couldn't make it to the office.
Hell yeah. Uh so you have your new role, a role you've been uh adjacent to or like working with for many years, but you started in July, you said, as the
Mhm.
state folklorist, and then you had a number of months before November when the National Folk Festival is rolling up to Jackson. So how were you navigating the dynamism of your new role while also being like obliged to be one of the hosts of the National Folk Festival at the same time?
Yeah, we were definitely measuring that time gap in weeks, not months. It was a lot to jump into midstream, but I will say, with as little notice as Maria had about the transition as well, she really
Mm.
did have a lot designed and ready to go for me to execute. One of the things that I did feel at a disadvantage about was Maria had all these really great relationships with these people, and I
Yeah.
was having to get to know them while writing bios that would be printed in programs. And so I'm researching the heck out of them. I needed those sleuths from the chat.
Let us know next time.
Yeah.
We'll rent them out next time.
Will we? Can we rent them out?
But I guess we could ask the sleuths.
I'll see their rate. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, for people who don't know, how does the National Folk Festival work when they're like working with a state partner such as yourself?
So, as I'm sure most people are familiar with, it changes host cities every 3 years.
Yep.
And this was the 82nd year of the National Folk Festival, its first year in Jackson. And Jackson was one of 42 applicants to submit and be selected. This is the first time the festival's ever been this far south. So I think that was very much a gain for us being in Jackson and being able to showcase what it can do here
Yeah.
in an entirely different culture than, say, Lowell.
Yeah. Or Butte, Montana. Yeah.
Yeah. So we were really excited to move forward with it. And we met on a weekly basis. Shout out to Victor, CJ, and Kate, because we really worked every single day almost on getting things coordinated, writing bios, getting pictures, contracts. There's 6 stages at the Jackson Folk Festival. And we, as the state partner, were organizing the Mississippi Folklife area. So they really did handle, things like the local festival manager, Tavi, would handle things like getting permits, making sure we had jersey barriers, and there was electricity and all of those things. And I was the liaison with the artist and making sure that we had a site map for where the tents should go and how are we going to hang and display each of the pieces that every artist is going to build. How do we effectively tell their story in a tent that someone can walk through? And how do you do that if it's very, very windy and everything's trying to blow away?
Who were some of the artists in the Mississippi Folklife area this past year?
Oh gosh, they were all so great. We had James Super Chicken Johnson. He was actually performing and demonstrating.
Oh, cool.
He is a blues artist, but he also hand makes instruments that he calls diddly bows.
I know a diddly bow. Yeah, I mean you get some diddly bow in the Panhandle. So yeah, definitely.
His are amazing.
Shirley? Do you know a diddly bow?
I do not know diddly bow.
Describe this.
So it could be a lot. If you've seen like a cigar box guitar, it's kind of similar. It can be a lot of different found objects. I've seen people make them out of like mini gas canisters and coffee tins, lots of different things. But James has a lot of like resin cast and painted and really gorgeous, uniquely shaped pieces. And he plays like a lot of slide guitar, too. So he's got like
okay.
Yeah, and he was just playing the whole time. Like I never had to really check on him. He just wanted to play for people while they were walking through. He was kind of our entry. We had a giant quilting tent with one large quilting group, I want to say it was like 14-foot long quilt of Fannie Lou Hamer, just like a portrait of her full body. It took up the entire space in the middle. And then Stephanie Brown, who is a local quilter who leads Big Mama's Quilting Circle here in Jackson. She's also one of our more recent fellowship recipients for hand quilting. So she sews pieces and quilts the whole thing by hand.
Amazing.
Which is someone who embroiders small things. The idea of doing a whole blanket is really crazy.
We have a guy at the Florida Folk Festival who plays every now and then he breaks out he's like a one-man band, but he breaks out like the double neck diddly bow. Like
nice.
Like if he plays like 3 stages over 3 days, like one day he'll break out that diddly bow. But there's somebody, and I actually found like an unmarked DVD in like a stack of things that had like field work of this guy from like 1982. But there was a guy who we used to interview with Florida Folklife back in the 80s. I want to say his name is Moses Williams, but everyone called him the Doorman. That is because his diddly bows were like discarded doors. They were like base diddly bows made out of doors. He's awesome.
Like the whole door?
The whole
like
door.
A piece?
The whole door. Just he would like lean it against something and just stand and play, you know?
It's like the harp of guitar instruments.
Yeah. It is a harp-sized door-shaped diddly bow.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that guy. You can find him on like Spotify and Apple Music and stuff because he's in the Dusted Digital re-release of Drop On Down in Florida. So you stream the Doorman. He's out there.
One of the other groups we had was Tammy and Robin Whitfield and Tammy Greer. They did natural pigment painting. Tammy runs a medicine wheel garden in Hattiesburg, Mississippi at the University for Southern Mississippi. And they brought a bunch of pigments like pokeberry and ochre. And Robin actually paints with dirt and water, like out of the swamp in Grenada. She's one of the first artists that I went to an exhibit of after I started working full-time at MAC. And so it was great to have her there. We also had a group of skateboarders who built rails and ramps, and they were just going all day, rotating out who was skating. They gave away like 30 skateboards. Shout out to Skate Jackson. They did an amazing job.
Hell yeah.
And they really kind of jumped in there at the last minute. They were a substitution for another skate group that had to back out, but they really came in clutch.
Amazing. We had skaters in Florida too. I'm glad the whole Gulf is getting their skaters represented.
Yeah, I always get like worried about them. Our area, like where they were, was fine, but there's so many potholes. I'm always worried about those tiny wheels.
They built a half pipe in Florida, so they had between two oak trees. They had a ramp. It was pretty sick. That video, I'll send that video to you when it drops. But I've edited a video, like a highlight video of them. Anyway. And then who did you enjoy like the most on like the main stages, like the musical stages at the National Folk Festival this year?
Well, I was really locked into the Mississippi Folklife area and
Of
making
course.
sure it ran smoothly, so I didn't get to see a lot of the main stage performers. I did stick around at night and get to see the Campbell Brothers' Sacred Steel guitar, which was amazing.
Yes!
And Eileen Ivers.
Love Sacred Steel.
Eileen Ivers was Irish music, and they also had some step dancers. I saw this 4-year-old girl absolutely like have her world expand. She watched those step dancers and then immediately got up, and for the rest of Eileen Ivers' like set, she was dancing her heart out. She was like, "Oh my gosh, that's what this is for."
The legs.
She had the best time. I was just watching her. I was like, "This kid's gonna be on that stage one day." Like,
I love that.
Is something awoke right here.
That's why you do it. You know, that's what the job is for. That's why you do it. I love that.
Oh yeah, and like people like Stephanie Brown, she brought her granddaughter who she's teaching to quilt, and the quilt she was demonstrating that she was working on was a quilt with her granddaughter's silhouette, and all of the fabric on it were like pineapples and cats and things that both of them love and are very allergic to and can't have.
For me, that's avocados.
There's plenty of avocado fabric out there in the world. We can make you a quilt, Dom.
Yeah, and I won't have a reaction if I touch that quilt.
There you go.
Well, speaking of a through line that's been going through all of this, has been fiber arts, has been for you specifically embroidery, among other things. But the way you do your fiber arts practice, how does that sort of blend your fandom and your family?
My grandmother taught me how to sew. This is actually her house.
That you're in?
So she taught me to sew in this house.
Amazing.
This table that this basket's on is actually an old flip-top Sears cast iron sewing machine.
Ah.
Nice.
So we did a lot of projects on this machine together. She's in a nursing home nearby, about 8 minutes away. So we see each other a lot. And
that's good.
Stuff, but it just got to the point where she wasn't safe here, and so this put me a lot closer, so I could help take care of her. Yeah, and she can't really sew anymore. She's having a lot of trouble with that, but she loves checking in on what I'm making. She thinks it's crazy that I came back to this after, not touching it for probably a decade and a half. And I like to think about it is kind of similar to when my granddad was teaching me how to fish, when she was teaching me how to sew as a kid. My line is tangled and I can't get out. Please help. Everything would just get tangled at some point. And I didn't have the patience that I have now for it, but I like doing really intricate patterns. I like texture, and I like doing creatures. So I'm definitely sewing subjects that aren't what my grandmother would typically be doing.
Mm-hmm.
It's very kind of nerdy stuff. I make a lot of patches, and I even put pin backs on a lot of them because I have commitment phobia for the ones that I make about where I'm going to put them. So put pin backs on them so I can put them on and take them off.
Oh, cool.
That's smart.
And that actually led to figuring out for the show that I had in June how to hang them on the wall. Because you can't just like put a nail through them and tack them up there. They really didn't like that proposal. So what I did was found this printable canvas paper at the craft store and started running it through the big fancy printer and figured out that after about 30 of them, I was printing that on the wrong side of the fancy paper. So I had to go buy another pack of it. But I would cut out the pieces of bookboard. Yeah, I would cut out pieces of bookboard, wrap that canvas paper around it, and then use an awl to puncture holes in it, and you can kind of see.
Whoa!
Do so. So I would kind of contextualize them. Folklore is all about context, so you can kind of see their home.
That's right.
Yeah.
And then also take them off and wear them.
That's cool. Well,
There you go.
we were about to move into like the funsy questions, the fun questions that we have written while the sleuths were finding serious academic things to talk to you about. And the first one just says jacket tour. As long as you're talking about patches, the first one just says jacket tour, and you're wearing the jacket.
I am. My grandmother and I actually bought this on clearance at JCPenney's for like $17, and then I thought this just looks like a blank canvas. I started this before I started sewing again, and sewing patches because these are all hand sewn on. Yeah, you can see.
Yeah. Oh wow.
Nice.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah,
The first step of the jacket tour is look at the roadmap of the inside.
So yeah, I got to the point where I was like, I have ideas, I can do stuff. It's a lot of video games and literature references. Got like the creation of man, but it's the One Ring and Sauron.
Cool.
I call this the secondary worlds jacket because of all of the different like fictional universes are represented. And it's a quote from my thesis advisor, Erica Brady, that she wrote in a book. I tried to copy her handwriting on here, but it says, because we share secondary worlds, she gave that to me in a Tolkien book that we got because we both love The Lord of the Rings. And you know, there's Sting, it glows in the dark. I've got Sauron, a lot of Ghibli. I really like my little heads up display. And I've even got a few, this is just, it's heavy. The very bottom under the Ghibli, there's like some aspects of Zagreus. We got some Jim Henson, Steven Universe.
Nice.
Mario. Just lots of fun. I don't get to wear it enough during the year because it's too warm in Mississippi. But actually, wait, one last thing I will share is there's a secret message if you can read Pokemon.
On the collar? Because chat is
That's
asking what does the collar say?
I've been waiting for a break to ask that, yeah.
Yeah, Hazel, thanks for that. So if you can read Pokemon, it says read.
Nice.
Oh, okay. Should I say that out loud?
You can. I didn't know if I was allowed to say it, so I was going to give you the option.
I can read unknowns, and I know what that says.
Oh, I thought you were saying it said read. Okay.
It does.
Oh, the first one does.
The first thing says read.
So it says read on the outside of the collar, and then you flip it up.
And it says something else.
I don't know how to read Pokemon.
You know what? That's your homework, Shirley.
Oh my god.
Learn how to learn the unknown cipher from Pokemon Gold and Silver.
Yeah, unless chat wants to tell on me.
I won't tell on you. I won't tell on you, because like we said, people watch this. But great, you snuck one through. Shirley, you got the next funsy question?
I do have the next funsy question, but also I saw one of your patches, and I feel like this is an appropriate time to share this.
What was that? Can you do that again?
It was a little.
Oh my god, it's the Wii! I love their stupid sounds.
They are very done.
The fleas are also great. I do love the fleas in
These are
Silk
so
Song.
good.
They're so
Fleas are
fluffy. I just
so
want to
good.
squeeze them.
Oh god. So does Hornet.
She's pointier. I don't want to bury my face in Hornet's like mask. I think I lose an eye.
I mean, that's true. I mean, I feel like it would
I
be
could
the
be
mask
small.
that made you
Yeah.
lose the eye.
Yeah, she might. There's a lot of needles, but I'm used to being stabbed by needles.
It's true, overcome.
Yeah, mind over matter.
Mind over matter. But yeah, funsy question time. We've already had a bit of a tour on this front, but cats.
Yes, there are 3 cats. Rowan.
Rowan is looking
He's-
right at me.
Yeah, he's a little gargoyle back there. And then Al was our first cat. His full name is Aloysius Bartleby Pembroke III. But we call him any name that starts with Al.
Gotcha.
Rowan's my pandemic kitty. I got him about 2 weeks before the shutdown happened.
Oh, wow.
And Baker was my grandmother's cat, and she couldn't move with him, so I have taken him in so he can go visit her, and she can go visit him, and he gets to stay in his
Aw.
house.
That's nice.
And he definitely taught all the cats all the places that they definitely shouldn't climb on.
Of course.
Love
yeah.
that.
As it does. There's also an ask here for show them beans. I
Oh, the
also don't-
cats.
Yeah.
Cat beans.
If the cats will not cooperate, then that is completely fine.
They completely
but,
fine if a cat
Um,
won't cooperate.
Let's see.
Beans,
Rolo.
Beans, 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 beans. Manifesting. Manifesting. Beans, 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 beans.
We're selling your feet pics so we can pay off student loan debt.
Hey! Ladders in the chat for those beans, everybody.
Ladders for beans.
Ladders for
Oh, so
beans.
good.
That was wonderful. Thank you for indulging us.
Oh, I needed that more than I realized.
Hey! Hi,
So
Rowan.
cute.
He's like, I will chew on this microphone.
I love
will."
that. Rowan,
That's
you are
wonderful.
handsome as shit. I
He's the
love that coat.
prettiest.
Yeah.
And he was all white when I got him, and during the pandemic, he started getting a little dingier.
Mhm.
And I tried bathing him because I thought I just got him dirty.
That is so cute.
And it didn't work. None of the 3 times I tried. And then I looked it up, and they're like, "Oh, he might get darker with age,"
That's cool.
you know.
which is fine. I'm fine with it. It looks great. But I did bathe him unnecessarily, and it did take him a long time to forgive me.
That's very funny. Well, hopefully he will forgive you for the beans as well one day.
Oh, I'm allowed to do whatever I want. I have the cat food after for forgiveness.
That is true.
That's true.
That
That's
is
right.
true. You can ply them with snackies.
Yeah, it's basically like going to confession for your cat. Just feed him, wipes away all
That
the
is true.
sins.
Oh, it's
Those are boys.
it is a genetic thing. It's a heat map where melanin is being activated over time in the cat's fur.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Thanks, chat.
That's like pointed Siamese and stuff like that.
Yeah. Know some Siamese who get different colors as they age.
Yeah, he's a ragdoll. His mom was a blue Persian.
Ooh.
Oh, that's a good combo.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she got dropped off with a local vet who fostered all the kittens, and she let me take him, which is the best
Aw.
thing she's ever done. For any one person. Yeah,
Aw.
buddy. Even if you chew on everything.
Aw.
As is God-given right.
Yes. Amen to that. Meow.
Oh my gosh.
Shirley, you have the
Meow.
next one too, right?
I do-
Oh,
oh!
cats.
Oh my goodness.
They
they
scrapping.
fighting.
They're not mad. Their ears are straight
Yeah.
up.
They're like play fighting. But
They
there
are.
was some back paw action, and I'm like, oh, they're getting
They
into
love
it.
the bunny kids because the only thing Baker has on Rowan, because Rowan has like 6 pounds on him. He just sits on him, and then Baker will bunny kick him.
Aw. Wait, is
Nice.
that Baker
that.
with Rowan back there?
Mm-hmm.
Heck yeah.
Down there on the floor scrapping.
Aw. Baker because
Cute.
The biscuit maker. Baker,
That's right.
Baker, the
Biscuit
biscuit
maker.
maker.
that's right.
The biscuit, the baker, the candlestick maker.
I don't got one of those. It's not one of the crafts I've gotten into.
That's true. Yeah, you know.
I think it's because I'm
Candlestick
worried the cats will set themselves on fire.
That's true. Well, you don't have to light them. You just have to have the nice candles.
Then I'll just have a million candles though.
Yeah, we can give them away as gifts. Mix
I
it up
guess
a little.
Patches
But yes.
are so much easier to store.
That is true. I will give you that.
Butcher Baker, Jacket
yes.
Patch Maker.
Nice.
Speaking of patches and fandom and fun things,
And little guys.
Our next and little guys
And little guys.
and fiber crafts. I have prop for this one. But Phineas and Ferb, go off. Why is it such a great show?
Am I trying to put your face on screen for that, Shirley?
Oh, I realized I'm not on camera. That's fine. I don't have to be.
Here, I'll get you on camera.
Oh, I think I got blurry.
It's just a platypus. They don't do much.
Yeah, I mean, it's very quotable. It's so quotable. Doofenshmirtz is probably one of the greatest cartoon villains of all time, and that he's really not that great at villaining. I really liked the reboot. What happened to their mom freaked me out really bad. Getting like blasted out of existence temporarily and becoming atmosphere. That was one of the wackiest things, but yeah, I think that it really sets this model of, I don't think Phineas and Ferb have heard of cell phones or the internet beyond, I need to Google a schematic to download this to my 3D printer. Like, they're so intent on making things, and I think it shows people that there's not a lot of limits to what you can make if you really dedicate your time and efforts to it.
That's a good point, yeah.
That is such a Kristin answer to that question. I appreciate that.
Yeah, have you seen any of the other shows?
Other shows.
Oh, like Milo Murphy?
Oh, no, I have not.
Okay. I'm a Milo Murphy truther.
I did really enjoy Gravity Falls. But yeah, I'm curious if they'll keep making more Phineas and Ferb. We'll have to see. I did make a Perry patch when the reboot came out.
Nice. I still haven't seen the reboot episodes, but I've heard good things.
It was solid, I will say. They did not start in a rut the way that some reboots kind of do.
Yeah. I love the huh.
Let me say, I had never seen. Not only had I never seen an episode of Phineas and Ferb before, folk-wise, and that is knowing Shirley, I didn't know anything about this show before I started hanging out on a regular basis with Shirley. And I do keep learning, like the mom becoming atmosphere. Don't explain that. It's going to be more cool and mysterious if I never know the context, or if I get it years from now when my little nephew is watching Phineas and Ferb. And I will say, my little nephew is 5 or 6, and he started watching Phineas and Ferb, and he loves it. But he asked my brother. He asked my brother recently. He asked him, Baba, because he calls him like dad in Greek. Baba, can we go to the tri-state area? And my brother had no idea how he even learned that phrase, and just looked at him and went, Yeah, we can, buddy. Yeah, we'll go to the tri-state area. And then he asked his wife, how does he know the phrase tri-state area? And they just next time Phineas and Ferb was on, one of them said it, and they were just here's your tri-state area show.
Yeah, they need to take over the tri-state area.
Oh my gosh! So there's
manageable goals.
Exactly. Also, that child's gonna know what an aglet is before most U.S. adults.
I was gonna say that's the other
word right there,
because that comes up at at bar trivia. That's been asked a couple times in the 5 years I've been playing trivia at this bar, and always it is people between the ages of 21 and 26 who all know that answer for some reason. And
AGLET, don't forget it.
That's right.
Also, the word anti-disestablishmentarianism.
Well, I knew that one. That's just a good. That's a spelling bee word.
It's a good word.
It's a good long
Yeah.
one. Well, speaking of long one, I don't want to go too long with this interview because we did ask you a lot of good questions, but we have one more thing that we want to do with you that we do with a lot of guests who come through these parts. And the first thing I gotta ask you, Kristin, while we wrap up this interview, the first thing, the last thing I want to ask you is, have you ever made a tier list before?
I have not, but I know what they are.
Then you're in a better position than many folklorists who do not know what they are and have not made one. Less folklorists have made one than you think. But Shirley, while I get this pulled up, can you explain to anyone in the chat who might not know what a tier list is?
Yeah, just so we're all on the same page. So a tier list originally developed mostly for fighting games in order to rank best characters to play for said fighting games. But like most things developed originally for war, in peace it has taken a new aspect. And it's also just used on the internet to rank things in general. Like, hot roast sides. And in this case, we have a very special curated tier list for you to complete.
I lost my mouse. There we go. Okay, we've had just Hades, like our Hades run up in the background, but I am switching over what the stream is on
nice graphics.
Share screen. Thank you. And all right, so let me full screen that. So our tier list for you today, because you are, as far as I know, the folklorist expert on the Hades games, more so than me, who has played an entirety of Hades 1, two judgy members of chat, not knowing what I was doing for like a solid 20 hours of that. But you are an expert on Hades, and of, as we mentioned earlier, the Hawthorne-esque retelling of classical myth. And we were playing Hades before this, and we'll play this for people who are watching live once the episode is wrapped. So we have the Hades 2 gods. I think we got about 9 of them, which is a good manageable one for a tier list we're doing live on our show. So, Kristin, I want you on a scale from S to D, and these go from S to D, usually S being a theoretical grade above 100, 101 to infinity, and D being barely passing. These Hades gods that have provided us in this Hades 2 gods tier list maker, are you ready to rank these?
Absolutely.
Cool. Let's start. We got Aphrodite right here. Let's start with Aphrodite.
I am gonna say Aphrodite's A tier.
A tier. Why is A tier?
Especially early in the game, being able to put weak on your enemies makes them do less damage to you, and you do more damage to them. Her dash automatically inflicts on anyone around you, but where she really shines is that gain, because it not only inflicts weak on everyone around you, but it causes you to regenerate your magic anytime you're standing near someone who has weak. So you're never going to have to worry about magic again. And she has some really great infusions.
So,
and they have the best names.
I still love what is it? Out of My League, different league.
Mm-hmm.
I still love that. So A for utility. Apollo is next. Where are we putting Apollo?
So I skipped Apollo so much when I was first playing. I really did not like him in terms of what I felt like he was doing for builds. I know a lot of people really like it. I'm gonna put him at B because I really like his dash. I really like the aesthetic of I am a rainbow and I move faster.
Yeah.
Enjoy. That one's really great. His cast gain is pretty good, especially if you're doing a cast build. You're never gonna have to worry about magic. But I don't like having him on my attack or on my special, and I don't like using his cast except for the version of it that makes your cast bigger. because then it's just, more Scorch or more Blitz, because those are the things I look for in a cast. Demeter.
Yeah, Demeter is up next. Where are we putting Grandma?
I would put her in B, the same as Apollo. I, again, don't love having her on my attacks or my specials, but I do enjoy her cast. Her gain is not bad. You do have to stand still, and if you don't know where it's safe to stand on the map, sometimes that means you're going to take some hits. But all in all, what hers will do is just make them stand still. It's the stand still and hit me. I can do that in my cast. I don't necessarily need her to.
Sure. Now, all these go horizontal and vertical.
Mhm.
So it should be over Apollo or be under Apollo?
Put Apollo above
Got
Governor.
it. Okay. Got it. Well, next up is Hephaestus.
Hephaestus, he's honestly probably my favorite to get personally.
Ooh.
But I'm going to put him in A tier, and the
Okay.
reason why is if you don't have a high rarity or you don't have a lot of pomegranates, I will put him above Aphrodite.
Okay.
So, one, they're a married couple, don't split them up. I guess they seem more happily married in the game than they are in.
Don't split them up, Aries.
Yeah, and then, again, Aries and Aphrodite have matching face paint. I think we're still nodding that way.
Yeah.
But Hephaestus's blast damage is awesome. It only happens after a timer's run out, though. I've gotten it down to where it recharges after a single second, but I've only gotten that done once or twice. I think usually I can get it down to 3, but even then, if you're on a really high hit weapon like the knives, you're doing a lot of damage that doesn't have any boosted damage at all because you're waiting for that timer to run out. So you do have to palm or have extra rarity on it for really to start cracking.
Sure. Know exactly. Have a plan and know your weapon. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
don't want to disappoint. I don't know that I'm going to put anybody very low, but maybe that's just my bias.
Hey, that's fine. Hey, that's fine. We can have a top heavy tier list. We can make a P. It's fine. Next up is Hestia.
I personally think Scorch and Blitz are some of the best things in the game. I'm going to put her at S tier, particularly with the weapons like the knives that you hit a lot. You're going to keep laying that Scorch down. She gives you the option to throw your cast. Zeus is the other one who gives you that option. Maybe that's one of the reasons I love getting either one of them on any run. If I can do both, that's also very fun. And her duos are great too, because hers and Aphrodite's, Scorch damage will diminish the longer that it's there to a certain extent, so you have to boon it up a little bit to make that Scorch damage go down faster. Or if you have Aphrodite, it's gonna not decrease at all. They just turn that little timer into an infinity symbol, and that's satisfying.
Next up we have on this tier list Poseidon.
I'm gonna put him at A tier too.
Where
but in front of Aphrodite,
okay,
behind
right in the middle.
Hephaestus, in front, in the middle. I'm gonna split up the happy couple. I love Sea Star. I went so long. I went probably 80 runs without taking that, because I just was like, I don't really need more resources. It didn't occur to me that it was really duplicating health in the way that it was.
Yeah.
And he has a boon called Water Fitness that gives you 15 health for every water elemental boon you have, and I've gotten over 400 HP just with that before, which was just ridiculous.
Wow.
And then his froth damage on top of the water is good. I love his dash. It's the keep away from me button if you don't like dropping your cast a lot. So yeah, I think I'd put him at A tier, but he doesn't do as much damage as I think Hestia and Zeus do.
So there are a number of gods missing on this tier list, and I think this also came out in 2024, so I think this is like an early access build.
Yeah.
So a couple of people who aren't on here. You mentioned Ares, Hermes,
Hera,
who I haven't even got to.
Artemis has boons. Dionysus has boons. But they
Dionysus,
only
who
appear
I don't think
once.
I've seen yet, but Dionysus. Oh, maybe I saw once.
You get to see him in the 3rd level of upstairs.
Oh, okay.
And he's the one, you would remember it. He's in a banana hammock and has a pet leopard.
Maybe on the run I watched someone do a successful run, and maybe that's why I saw it. Don't think it was actually me.
he's living up to the wild party god legacy in this one.
Hell yeah. Who we can talk about who your favorite is of the ones that's not on here, but we've got 3 more that are included on this, and I think they're all heavy hitters.
Yeah.
So next up is Chaos.
Okay, in the original Hades game, I did not pass up a Chaos Gate.
Yeah.
I loved doing that every time. I hate that it costs more health the further that you go. Maybe it was like that in the first game and I don't remember it. I feel like I've really gotten some bad chaos boons out of Hades 2 in a way that it's killed me so bad. And maybe it's just because I keep thinking that you clear 4 chambers in 300 seconds and you'll be fine. I can never do that. I always time it wrong, and there's a guardian or warden battle in the middle of that, and there's no way to kill Scylla and Charybdis and the sirens in 45 seconds. You just lose your death defies, and it's sad times. So I'm going to put him in C, actually. Even though he's my favorite visual redesign, in terms of utility, he has bricked my builds and screwed me over.
Yeah. Okay, a valid C. You look cool. You have 5 different faces. However, we're doing this for the runs.
Yeah. And Selene, she's a little different than all the gods, because what she's giving you isn't an enhancement on any attack, it's an entirely new attack. And it really depends on which one you get.
Yeah.
Because there's 4 that I love and 4 that I'm I could live without, making other people slow, or the morph one because it doesn't really help you on the guardian battles or on the warden battles that much. So I'll put her at B because it's really a 50-50 for me on whether I'm going to like the hex that I get.
Sure. B under Demeter?
Yeah, I think under Demeter.
That's what I was feeling. All right.
And Zeus is S tier.
I was going to say, I know you love Zeus. Is Zeus over Hestia?
Yeah, he is.
I feel like Zeus in the last game had some abilities that I was like, that's cool. There's never going to be a moment where I'm going to practically use that. And this one, I'm going out of my way to get Zeus.
Yeah,
I think he's synergized
so
with the new weapons so well.
He really does. This chain lightning that you can get, I mean, I know it primes you 50, but as long as I have at least 45 after that, I will take that early. It's kind of like having support fire, but you're also doing blitz damage.
Yeah. I think the first time I got that was the first time I beat Hecate.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and each of these gods are paired with Selene for a specific boost on your hex.
Mm-hmm.
So Zeus is paired with the morph one, which, fine. It'll do damage if you can get the God Sent version of it, which is the only version of morph that I'll take. Unless I'm doing 32 fear, and then I will take morph. Please help me clear those rooms. They suck so hard.
I don't think I'm ever going to do 32 fear.
I spent a week throwing myself at it and then realizing the vows that I took made it way harder than it needed to be. Yeah. I did not need to do 3 levels of hordes. It just made it so hard.
Well, this is the official Kristin Brandt tier list. I am raring to get back into Hades on a scale from Zeus to Chaos. How supported do you feel in your run? That's really the question this tier list is proposing. But you got me so excited to play a little more when we get back to the gameplay part of this episode. But I would like to say we can move confidently into this last part. You have officially done your tier list, your interview, your appearance on Folkwise. Do you have anything for the folks at home in chat who are watching, for anyone who's watching this on YouTube, anything you want to plug or anything you want to add right here at the end? Where can people find you? Anything like that?
Yeah, if you want to find my embroidery work, my personal art Instagram is Everyday Psyche, the same as my username here. And it's just Everyday Psyche, nothing special thrown in there. And also check out Mississippi Folklife. It's an online digital publication documenting traditional culture in Mississippi. We also take rolling submissions. So if there's any stories that you want to tell about Mississippi, traditions, foodways, I know that we have a lot of expats across the country that might have something that they love about their home that they want to share with us. So the Motor Mouse Club actually demonstrated at the Folk Festival this year. You can see a lot of our demonstrators here. And when we publish our spring 2026 issue, I will have a digital exhibit of the Folk Festival.
Incredible.
Yes.
I'm excited to see it. You know, the Mississippi Folklife does such cool things. We always, I will say, in Florida, whenever we're working on something like to print, we are always like using this as the gold standard because it's so cool and so thorough, and you've been doing it for so long. So thanks to that, great plugs, great job with you know, stepping into the new role, doing the National Folk Festival, and your elite Hades ball knowledge. All been great. So I will say, chat, there's one last thing I need from you, and that's ladders in the chat for Kristin. Letters in the chat. Let people know that you're applauding while you're at home. Kristin, thank you so much for coming on Folkwise.
No, thank you so much for inviting me. I'm really glad that I bumped into you. I think AFS was such a great opportunity to reconnect with the field this year. And I'm just glad that we ran into each other in the book room, which is always my place to lurk at the conference. There's just so many good books.
Hell yeah. It was a pretty great book
And
room
this year there was gaming.
And there were video games too.